When Ambassador Lee Yaren stood before the Galactic Council, her voice echoed through a chamber older than most civilizations. "Earth is not defenseless," she warned. "Push us, and you'll regret it." The council, composed of the most advanced species in the known galaxy, laughed. To them, Earth was a primitive backwater, barely spacefaring, still clinging to tribal borders and fossil fuels. What could humans possibly do that warranted respect, let alone fear? They got their answer 12 days later, when the Council's fleet entered Sol System and vanished. Not destroyed, erased. Their transmissions cut off mid-sentence. The survivors, those who managed to crawl back from the edge of death, spoke of invisible weapons, ships that moved like ghosts, and AI systems that didn't broadcast a single signal. Earth had warned them. The galaxy laughed. But after what they saw orbiting that quiet blue planet, they'll never laugh again. Prologue. The warning Ambassador Lee Yaren stood tall in the central chamber of the Galactic Council. Her Earth standard uniform, a stark contrast to the flowing silks, metallic robes, and neural link garments of the gathered species. Around her were over 200 representatives from the Milky Way's most powerful civilizations, some resembling crystalline entities, others floating cephalopods, reptilian monarchs, and synthetic minds interfacing with biological avatars. She wasn't supposed to speak that day. Earth didn't hold a permanent seat in the council, but recent events had forced her hand. "The solar system," she began, voice firm, "is not unguarded. If the council is considering intervention or military presence around Earth, let me be clear, this is not a primitive world." Laughter echoed through the chamber, real, telepathic, even synthetic chuckles. Yaren waited. "We possess quantum stealth. Our orbital defense grid can track a hydrogen molecule at Mach 20. We've conducted kinetic warfare tests using rods from orbit, an ancient idea, now perfected. Our AI-controlled fleet doesn't need commands. It simply needs parameters." Multi-eyed delegate from the Tossine Empire blinked slowly. "You are a fledgling species. You've been space-capable for barely a century. Why should the Council fear you?" Yaren responded coolly. "Because we've had to evolve under constant threat of nature, of war, of ourselves. We didn't rise because the galaxy guided us. We rose because we had no other choice." They laughed louder this time. But the recording of that session would later be archived under the classification pre-war warnings, ignored at council risk. Earth's quiet shield to the galaxy. Earth still appeared like a disorganized backwater. They had no interstellar colonies, no Dyson swarms, no wormhole control. But what the council failed to recognize, what their arrogance blinded them to, was Earth's mindset. Over the past century, humanity had diverted its brightest minds from endless consumer technology toward deep defense infrastructure. After AI alignment in the late 21st century, Earth unified under a fragile but functional global council. Then came Project Aegis. It started as a research initiative. Within 30 years, it became the backbone of Earth's protection. No flashy weapons, no galaxy-scale superweapons, just brutally efficient systems built on hard science. Orbital tungsten spear platforms, originally conceptualized by Rand Corporation decades earlier. Neutrino layer detection grids that could see ships using gravity-based drives from hundreds of miles away. Non-M stealth ships using polarized thermal masking and quantum cloaking. Subsurface AI fortresses buried under the Antarctic plate and oceanic crust. None of this was shared. Earth had learned from history. Those who advertised their capabilities painted targets on themselves. So they let the galaxy think of them as young, emotional, overly aggressive. Let them scoff. Even the Earth Council remained divided. Many feared becoming militaristic. But AI governors, which could not feel pride or fear, calculated that an untelegraphed threat deterrent was the only viable long-term strategy. The Council's probate began with a request. A Council merchant vessel, Helios Flame, claimed it was threatened near the asteroid belt. Pirates? Earth forces? Unknown. The accusation, though flimsy, gained momentum among member races already suspicious of humans. In response, the Council deployed a reconnaissance mission, 1 dreadnought, 3 support cruisers, and 10 observation drones. It wasn't a full military incursion, just a flex. They named the operation Celestial Clarity. On board was Commander Vorthan of the Zarkal Dominion, a tactician known more for politics than war. He considered the mission a formality. As the fleet approached the Kuiper Belt, Earth's satellites went dark. Not destroyed, blinded. Their quantum data links fried, localized in a way that violated known tech laws. Then the fleet's sensors picked up a signal, not from Earth, but from the Neptune orbit. It read, "This is a controlled zone. You are in violation of Sol Defensive. Treaty Clause 0 null. Leave immediately." Commander Vorthan laughed. "Clause 0 null? That isn't even real." He ordered the drones to advance. They vanished. No explosion, no signal, just gone. Then a second message, warning acknowledged. Second protocol initiating. Within seconds, the fleet's own sensors malfunctioned. It wasn't sabotage, it was trickery of physics. Particles in the hull were subtly manipulated. Shield harmonics were phased out by precision quantum fluctuations. None of the tech made sense. Vorthan panicked and ordered a retreat. Too late. From behind Neptune's shadow, 6 black triangular ships appeared, silent, smooth, like obsidian daggers. No visible propulsion, no M radiation. They surrounded the fleet and waited. Vorthan screamed into the comms, "We surrender!" Nothing. Then, one by one, his cruisers lost power and drifted. Not destroyed, disabled with surgical perfection. No life lost, but no systems worked. Earth's final transmission. This was a demonstration. You were warned. Galactic repercussions. The Council met in emergency session. Silence had replaced arrogance. The Zarkal Dominion demanded answers. This was an act of war. The Taucine argued. You sent warships into their system. They responded with restraint. The Nathari, telepathic pacifists, uttered a single phrase, "We saw their mind. It does not bluff." Ambassador Yaren returned, but this time she stood without protest. Earth was invited to speak. She didn't threaten, didn't gloat. "We don't want war," she said. "But we've survived extinction-level events, many of our own making. We're done gambling with peace. We don't project power. We prepare. For survival. Always have." A robotic delegate from the Argon Hive uploaded an analysis. It showed that Earth's kinetic orbital weapons had a 99.7% accuracy rate in a 1-0 radius. The stealth fleet had a heat signature below cosmic background. Radiation. No known civilization, not even the ancients, could replicate that. And yet, Earth had not attacked. No Council ships destroyed. No lives lost. The silence in the chamber was finally broken by High Chancellor Zithal. "Let us hope Earth remains peaceful, because we would not survive its wrath." Humanity withdraws over the next few weeks. Earth enacted its final phase of Project Aegis. Total system lockdown. The Moon was surrounded by eye-piloted orbital fortresses. Mars stations went dark. The Kuiper Belt was seeded with ghost mines, stealthy drones programmed to disable, not kill. A single communication was sent to all known civilizations. The solar system is a demilitarized sovereign zone. Number: foreign vessel may enter without treaty authorization. Violations will be met with containment. We seek peace. But we are not helpless. Most races accepted this new reality. But something changed in the Council. For millennia, it had been the central power. Now a fringe world had forced it to blink. And humans? They went quiet. Their fleets never left Sol. Their weapons never fired in anger. But every species that watched them knew It wasn't about aggression. It was resolve. Earth didn't want domination. It wanted survival at any cost. Epilogue. A new kind of respect. 10 years later, a small council science ship requested permission to observe Saturn's rings. Earth granted it, but only after a full scan, background check, and remote override of the ship's drive system. The visiting crew, consisting of 12 different species, were greeted not by soldiers, but engineers, biologists, and children. One Tassine diplomat later said, "Earth is a paradox. They can destroy you with math, but they'll also feed your starving colonies and send medical AI without asking for tribute. They are not gods, they are human." And that word, once spoken with condescension, now echoed in the chambers of power with reverence and caution. The council no longer laughed, because Earth had warned them, and Earth didn't bluff. Shadows over Titan. Years passed since Earth's quiet show of strength. The solar system had become something of a paradox in the galaxy, a region surrounded by powerful, invisible guardians, yet producing no outward aggression. Earth's scientific contributions increased. Their AI medical systems were now used in 6-star systems, and humanity even helped stabilize a planetary collapse on Gliese 832c. Still, no ship entered Sol without requesting permission. But then, without warning, Titan went silent. The Council's Titan Research Treaty, co-signed by Earth, had allowed limited observation stations around Saturn's largest moon, provided they remained unarmed and transparent. One of those stations, a Nathari-operated atmospheric lab, stopped broadcasting. The Nathari were not a violent species. They communicated through light pulses and emotion sharing. Yet, their silence triggered unease across the Council. Out of caution, Earth dispatched a single UNR